Thanks, Jeff. My name is Richard Inouye. I'm one of the three associate VPR's associate deans that Mark and Jeff referred to. And my primary responsibility is with the graduate school. So if you're having trouble with issues related to the graduate school, you can come and knock on my door, send me an email, and I'll try and solve those problems for you. Graduates, so before I jump into this, Jeff has talked about some of the great things you can do to go out and have fun, and I trust that you will all go out and do that this weekend before school starts. So graduate school is a time when you can fully immerse yourself in your chosen field of study. We offer 150 graduate degrees here. Those are spread among 42 departments and 7 colleges. I trust that you have chosen a degree that excites you. Anyone has chosen a degree program that they're not excited about? Okay. And that will define the next stage of your professional career. And also a topic that you're ready to dive into, heart, mind, and soul. Before addressing the types of graduate degrees that we offer, I want to touch on 2 topics that are relevant to all of you, no matter what your degree program. The first of those is safety. Part of our message about safety is things that you want to avoid, 2 of which are shown here. We want to be sure that you are properly trained to avoid problems and minimize risks, both in the field and in the laboratory. If you're going to work in a lab, if you're going to operate machinery, use radioactive or biologically hazardous materials, like sneeze when you have a cold, or spend time collecting data in the field, be sure that you talk with your advisor about the safety training that you will need to complete. Our Environmental Health and Safety Office, and their website is there on the bottom of the slide, has a training matrix survey on their website that will help you identify the training that you need. The second part of our message about safety is focused not on dangers to avoid, but on things that you should seek out, and the importance of those things for your emotional, physical, and mental safety. Earning a graduate degree is intense, it's demanding, and it's challenging. Your experience should be stimulating and exciting, but it can also be stressful. Take care of yourself. Help take care of your fellow students. Take advantage of the kinds of opportunities that Jeff described. Get outside, have a picnic, get some fresh air, get some sunshine. Take advantage of the great recreational opportunities that our region provides. Again, that's this weekend, okay? You will be more successful if you are healthy physically, emotionally, and mentally. If you do find yourself suffering from stress, or if you're concerned about one of your colleagues, if you see other students around you who you think are struggling, the Counseling and Psychological Services Center, that's CAPS, can help. Their services are confidential, and their website is a great source of information. So don't hesitate to take advantage of that. The second topic I want to touch on is integrity. Integrity is a cornerstone of academia, and it should be the foundation on which you build your academic career. The Responsible Conduct of Research course is one of the vehicles that we use to drive home our commitment to integrity. So Mark asked, how many of you are in doctoral programs? Raise your hands. I assume all of you are aware that the first session of the Responsible Conduct for Research course starts here in this room at 2:30 today, and you should be planning to stay here for that session. That course is required of all incoming doctoral students. It's also required of all graduate students who are supported on some kinds of federal funding. If you're on a fellowship or an assistantship funded by the National Science Foundation, this course is required. And we will not give you your degree if you do not have it on your transcript. Okay? So that's one of the issues that is addressed in that course is, in fact, integrity. We encourage all of you, even if you're not required to take that course, to take advantage of it. There's a lot of good information in that class. We see that as one of the value-added sorts of things of the sort that Scott will be talking about when I'm done. Graduate school is a journey. One of the tools that we offer you to ensure a smooth ride is the graduate school website. On that website, you will find information about finances and support, training and development, a link to the graduate catalog. That's one that you should familiarize yourself with. The graduate catalog is our primary reference for graduate school policies. And something that you will find use of at multiple stages in your program, our forms page. All of our forms now are electronic. We get electronic signatures on those, and you will, without doubt, have to go to that forms page at various points in your graduate program. So Mark has already asked, again, how many of you are in doctoral programs, how many of you are in Master of Science Plan A, Plan B, how many of you are in professional degree programs. Is there anybody that didn't have their hand up for one of those? For those of you that don't yet have a plan, don't panic. For those of you that don't yet have a clue, you can panic. Let's go through some of the main options quickly, the different degrees. Masters of Science Plan A students prepare a thesis. Plan A and thesis go together. You'll work with your advisor, your major professor, develop a plan of research. Typically takes 6 to 15 research credits. Write, defend a thesis, which will ultimately be bound. You'll have a nice bound volume you can put on your bookshelf, give to your parents. If you finish up in the next year or two, you may end up with a bound copy in the library as well. If you take longer than that, at that point the library may have changed their policy. They may no longer want a bound copy. So there's some incentive to get finished quickly. Masters of Science Plan B students do not write a thesis. They typically do a project of some sort. That creative project may involve performance if you're in the Kane College of the Arts. Those documents do not come through our office for the dean's review. They do, however, go into the library under the current system. Typically 2 to 3 thesis or project credits. That's a Plan B. So you do a document, a project of some sort, but not as extensive as a thesis might be. Professional degrees. How many of you are in professional degrees? Okay, so professional degrees, primarily coursework. MBA, Masters of Accounting, Master of Natural Resources, some other examples. Some programs like the MNR, Masters of Natural Resource, include a capstone project. Many professional degree programs include some sort of culminating experience, but the nature of that experience often varies among disciplines. Doctoral students prepare a dissertation that reports the results of the student's original research. You typically have to pass an oral exam. You have to defend your dissertation. You become the expert in that field. You own that field. You are the person that people are going to be coming to when they have questions about that field. That's your goal if you're in a PhD program, in a doctoral program. The dissertation does go through our office. It's reviewed in our office, and in fact, Dean McClellan picks one every month that comes through our office and reads it front to back. Your departments all have people who will help you through your program. Your graduate program coordinators, they vary from department to department. Some of them are staff, some of them are faculty, but those are people that you should get to know. One of the items on your Scholars Live More card on the back, there's some things that you can check off, and the reason to check some of these things off is that you can ultimately get some free ice cream. It's always worth doing things to get free ice cream. One of these is learn who your graduate program coordinator is. Email them the answer to the question, what was the main reason you chose to come to Utah State? The graduate program coordinator is the person who will help coordinate your graduate program, okay? We'll guide you through the program, we'll help you know what deadlines exist, what forms you need to be filling out, what the steps are, how soon before your defense you have to submit the defense forms, all of those sorts of things. So get to know that person. That person will be a tremendous assistance to you as you work through your program. No matter what your degree program, you've taken the important first step and you've put yourself on the road to commencement. Some of the details of your journey will vary depending on your degree and what you're studying, but there are milestones along that road that are similar for all degrees. For many degree programs, including the research programs, you will have to establish a supervisory committee. This committee, which includes your advisor or major professor, those are two different terms for essentially the same role, will provide guidance and evaluate your progress in your program. If you're in a professional degree program, you should still have a program advisor who can answer questions about the program and help with things like your program of study. You will need to plan out your program of study, typically with input from your committee or your program advisor, and submit it to the graduate school. This is an important document. Your program of study is a contract between you and your committee, between you and your graduate program, and it identifies the coursework that you will have to complete to get your degree. It protects you in the sense that if you finish 4 semesters and you've completed the coursework on your program of study, you're not going to go into your next committee meeting and have them say, oh, by the way, we want you to take these other 3 courses as well. The program of study is a contract between you and your committee. So pay attention to it, and it's a good idea to file it and create that program of study early on. The details, the mechanics of that vary some from one department to another. And it's also not cast in stone. If there are things that happen along the way during your program and you and your committee agree that you need to add a program or substitute a course for that program of study, you can do that. But that is an important document. Towards the end of your program, many of you will have this culminating project. It might be a thesis, it might be a dissertation, it might be a capstone project, it might be a Plan B paper. Whatever that culminating project is, it will ultimately lead to commencement. And obviously that's one of your important goals. After that, as Mark said, getting a job is another one. Staying on this theme of a journey, there are, again, some of these milestones that are similar along the way for all of you. We hope that you will take time to look at some of the attractions, on either side of your road along this journey, and again, take advantage of some of the opportunities that Jeff described. But we also hope that you will think closely about some of the things that are listed here. And these are some of the added value opportunities, some of the extras that we are trying to offer to you along your journey. And at this point, Scott Bates will take the wheel